Welcome to Up the Post. I'm Russ Cohen. We're powered by Coverall Exteriors, and we have Anthony Mingione. And how are you?
Covered it all there, Russ. Good work.
And Michael Jello, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay. I'm glad you guys are so good. All right. One fun story. The Seattle Kraken have a mascot named Bowie.
Yes.
Which,
boy, yes. I saw that.
And I saw on the BBC website that Bowie was out there fly fishing with John Hayden, and they were getting some content, and a bear started to frolic around them. And whether you think that bear is going to be nice or not, you have to run because it's 800 pounds, man. You can't worry about it.
Get out. Yeah.
Is the mascot's first name Baba?
It is not. No. We're not going to get into any of that because that could be a fake story for all we know, Mike.
Yeah.
So,
maybe the mascot will get canceled too.
Well, that's part of the fake story.
I guess they were. Where were they? I guess were they out in Olympia? I'm kind of because I was recently.
I forget where they said. I forget where they said.
I can believe it. Northern Cascade. If they're out in Northern Cascades, I can absolutely believe it. I
think that's what they said. The Cascades. Now that you say that,
I can believe that's not far from the Canadian border. I can believe it. I can believe it. There's some definitely. It's one of the least visited places. I found out it was one of the least visited national parks in the United States because it's just there's snow there until July.
Yeah, I'll just say this: I am no longer fast, and I don't know if I ever was fast. But if I saw a bear, I'd be Ben Johnson.
I was fast back in the day, but
we saw when we hiked, we did see a brown bear with her cub, but it was off in the distance.
Yeah, you're lucky if you see it with a cub. You're too close.
There's
man.
2 cubs, but they were like far. Yeah. They were far off, and they were across a waterway. We could see them. Like it was enough that they could have come across, but we weren't.
Yeah, I don't know. All I wonder is how do you stop that bear from crossing the border? All right. Anyhow.
You get out of there.
Well, we know where they go to the bathroom.
So I saw Jakob Verona's in Sweden signing over there. At this point, it's too bad. It's really a waste of talent. This guy did have talent, and I feel like he's kind of like, thrown it away in a way.
Yeah, I mean, Verona, we all remember when he was dealt, and we all thought, wow, this is a really good talent upgrade for the Red Wings when they originally acquired him, and it just again, the talent's there, but there's also, the internal drive too.
Yeah.
And Verona just always, whether it was in Washington, whether it was in Detroit, bouncing around, that's always been sort of like where he was, where the talent was there. Teams took a chance on the talent. But after a while, I mean, word gets around, it's like, and maybe just heart wasn't in it being here in the States and being, and then make the decision was at that point, and we'll see what happens to him now when he goes as he heads over to Europe now.
You could say he was sort of like a poor man's Alexander Semin, but Alexander Semin, even on 1-year contracts, lost Russ there for a second. Yes. Even on 1-year contracts, he did produce. So, and Verona, he just sort of, after the trade, it wasn't to St. Louis, he sort of dropped off the planet, and it's so it was really strange. And then he went back to Washington, tried to sort of recapture past glory, and that really didn't happen. So, I mean,
it happens with some of these guys when you don't, maybe you don't train right. Maybe you think that things are going to kind of be handed to you. Maybe you don't play any defense. When all those things kind of pile up, you get a few tries at it, and that's it. You're done.
You got to basically show, again, the circumstance if you're not scoring, how, like we always talk about that. So what else can you provide?
Right.
Where you can lean into your skill set. If it's speed and skill, what are some other ways that you can be helpful?
Well, I'll make sure now. I've just scratched Jakob Verona off of the 1-year contract PTO or nada list. So
scratch him off.
Later in the game. Later in
the show.
Yeah, a note to Steve Cohen. Right now, I'm not able to sign in. It knocked me off, so I can't comment back to you right now.
I mean, we're always concerned about you, Russ. We want to make sure that you're good.
So Nathan Bastion signed with the Stars. It's a good signing because he's a good fourth liner. Gets you 5-7 goals. Gets you like 150 hits. He's a big guy. That's fine. I mean, at 27, that's his role. Like, that's it. I thought he'd be a 10-goal-a-year guy. He never quite got there. He got to like 9. But on the right line with the right players, he could still get 10 goals.
Yeah, I thought the same about Bastion. I remember him with his days with the Devils, and thought, could be a 10 to 15, like you said, 10 to 15 goal guy, kind of that classic, third or fourth line guy that you need to have in your lineup, to provide physicality. And I think he'll be fine in Dallas. I think Dallas is in need of players like that, especially in their bottom 6. So, I would say it's a solid signing for Dallas. And again, 27 years of age, not like you're signing a 30-plus-year-old forward here, still tread on the tires for a team that, again, still has Stanley Cup aspirations.
It's weird, Russ. In my limited, and I'm not saying I was a scout because I wasn't, but in working for my previous outlet, and I knew the Leafs were going to have a high pick in that 2016 draft, and I was going to OHL games in different places, and one of the games was Mississauga, and Nathan Bastion was on that team with Owen Tippett, with Alex Nylander, with Michael McLeod, and at that level, he was a big kid, but he didn't have any finish. And 9 years later, he's a big kid and he doesn't have any finish. So he never really changed from that guy. I mean, it's useful. And as a fourth line guy in a league that wants big guys, he's got a place. But yeah, he's very limited in terms of what he can accomplish.
Yep. Speaking of finish, Sasha Barkov is bringing the Stanley Cup over to Finland. So, it's making the rounds. It's getting to different places. That's fun.
Different places, but similar places.
Yeah, in some ways.
But you're in different spots. Again, they're all in different spots, obviously, this year. So,
yeah, I think, I just handed in an article for Elite Prospects. I'm not sure if it got posted yet, but I saw Mackie Samoskevich, who I did get an exclusive with right after he won the cup on the ice. He brought the cup around. It's fun when guys do that. You get a guy like that, and it's like, he got to play like, I think 4 games. He went to Sandy Hook, which again, we all know about Sandy Hook because that's where he's from. So like, that's when the cup could really be like inspirational and uplifting for, an area. And I think that's cool.
Yeah. And again, when we talk about, certainly not to be down, certainly not to be a downer on this at all, but it's always good to have these, these community events that, again, I think of that community and everybody's always going to remember it for that reason, and to bring like, an uplifting moment there is always good.
Yeah. I mean, the question is, with Barkov and the members of the Panthers, will they be bringing the cup to these locations for a third straight year? And the news that came out from Greg Wyshynski, who we may have on the show very soon, regarding Matthew Tkachuk. And the surprising thing, Russ, is that he has not had the surgery yet. And
why is that surprising?
Very surprising. I thought.
No, I don't think it is. No, I didn't say that. I said, why is that not surprising? I expected him not to get the surgery and miss 3 months to help the cap, to be healthy for the Olympics. I think that's sort of the way he's going to go. This is what I'm expecting.
And you look at Florida's lineup again, which is still a pretty strong lineup. That you don't not want to have a Matthew Tkachuk in your lineup, but if you're able to kind of stay in playoff range, and then he's back, comes from the Olympics, and he's firing on all cylinders. At the end of the day, Florida knows it. They want, everything's about winning a third cup, and if making sure Tkachuk is fully, recovered, and firing on all cylinders when they need him the most. You know, we could be cynical about it, certainly with regards to helping them with the cap, but you try to leverage every bit of advantage you can.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, the Panthers are, I think it's 3.5, 3.6 million over the cap right now, and you can be that way in the summer, and that's including Tkachuk's salary. So if Tkachuk, I think he's not at 9.5. If he goes under the knife and is on LTIR, then they're okay. They don't have to trade an Evan Rodriguez or somebody like that. But I mean, the issue here is Florida. I mean, okay, they turned it on in the playoffs because they got everybody back. Marchand came over. He was injured. He came back just before the playoffs. He wasn't good, and then turned it on because it's Marchand and it's the playoffs. But they weren't a very good team down the stretch from the deadline to the middle of April. So I'm not saying that they're going to be in danger of missing the playoffs, but they could be in the wild card race rather than the top 3 in the Atlantic if Tkachuk is out for 3 months.
Yeah, but again, they have guys like Samoskevich who's ready to break out. Like, it's not like they don't have anybody who could sort of play a role. They do. They have guys that could come in and score goals.
And again, to borrow the old line of recreating in the aggregate.
Yeah.
But Florida is actually a team that can actually do that. And they don't have to adjust their style that much in order to be able to get that done. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing with the Panthers. And maybe they just look at it, hey, if we're in the wild card, it's a new adventure for us this time. Let's see if we can win the cup from all the way back here.
Oh, they did that 2 years ago. They almost did that 3 years ago because they were in the last wild card spot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to answer Terry 3Gs with a big no to his question. That's way too much research for me or anybody really wanting to do that. So no, that answer is a no.
Russ isn't in the mood for it tonight.
No, it's not happening. Mike, I wanted to ask you what you thought of ChatGPT and picking all the future Stanley Cup winners.
Clearly, ChatGPT is a French Canadian because they had 4 Stanley Cups being awarded to a team that does not exist currently. So if that, which is the Quebec Nordiques. Yeah. Now, I personally would love to see the Quebec Nordiques come back, but when
maybe ChatGPT knows something.
Ooh, yeah. But it's like you had 4 for the Montreal Canadiens and 4 for the non-existent Quebec Nordique.
Not yet, Mike.
Well, not yet, and 0 for the most profitable and center of the hockey universe, Toronto Maple Leafs. So that's
funny about the most profitable teams in like baseball and hockey. They do have something in common.
Yeah, that's the Mets. That's true.
Well, the Mets aren't as profitable as the Yankees, though. That's the thing about it, Mike.
Well, but they spent the most on salary, so
that's not what we're talking about. We were talking about profitability.
So this is all the amazing Kreskin GPT.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a kick out of it. I saw the Sabres were going to win it. I think it was like.
Okay, so it's
shines on a dog's posterior once in a blue.
I don't remember how many years out it was. It was something like 5-7 years.
It was 60. It was probably when I'm going to be 6 feet under. So there you go.
Oh, that's good. It's always nice to have that cheery disposition.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Mike. So I know we're going to play your game, and I do have a.
Is it his game or is it our game?
No, it's my game.
No, it's mine. Okay. Mike came up with it.
Like Yellow 2000.
Like Merv Griffin invented Wheel of Fortune. I invented 1 year contract.
Mike goes Yellow, limited, all rights reserved, 2020.
Yeah, and then I have like it's not a food take, it's a drink take. But we'll do that.
Oh, does it involve little paper umbrellas?
No,
not really. Not for this.
It involves a spice that does not.
No spice. Nope. Does not. Nope.
Okay.
That day's coming though.
Yeah, very, very soon. Actually, I didn't send it to you. I did find it. It was if you search, and they wouldn't offer that flavor. But I was doing the search on something, and there was a Starbucks pumpkin spice out there. So
yeah, but you didn't see anybody walking around with it yet.
No, but it was on the it was a cold brewed sweet cream pumpkin spice.
Oh yeah, nothing like cold pumpkin on a day where pumpkins aren't even growing yet. Okay. Anyhow.
Okay.
But Mike, for your game,
yes, go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we have Andreas Athanasiou on it?
No, he was down lower on the list. I would have gotten to him eventually, but because wait a second, I thought he signed somewhere.
I don't think he did. Did he? I didn't see it.
I'll check.
I don't believe he signed.
I'll while we're
search, and then we'll start the first one off for you, and then if he is, we'll include him.
Okay.
If he isn't.
Okay, so I'll start. I'll list the first one. Veteran Thomas Tatar. Last season, I believe, played with the Devils.
Yeah.
34 years old. Has had a decent career. Had 17 points in 74 games, which would indicate to me he's getting close to the end of it. But we know that teams will bring on that veteran guy. Anthony, we'll start with you first. 1-year contract, PTO or nada?
Probably PTO for him. I think we're getting close to the end of the line for him. There'll be an injury in camp. Somebody will bring him in. Maybe the Devils again. Usually ends up with the Devils at least once, or Montreal.
Russ?
Yeah,
I'm going to go PTO as well.
Someone indicated that Tatar signed in the Swiss League.
Oh, okay. So
there we go. Nada. He's out.
No,
I'll check on that just to be sure.
So okay. So we have to scratch him from the list because he did sign, but just not anywhere. And
he is signed with EV Zug of the Swedish National League. Yep.
And Athanasiou is still unsigned. I'm just checking to see if he signed in Europe. And
I don't think he did. He did.
The only place to go for that is your employer, Russ. Prospects, because they will have. Yep. No, he is an unrestricted free agent. So we will go with Athanasiou as our official first 1-year contract, PTO or nada. He only played 8 games in the NHL last year for the worst team in the league, Chicago, but did play pretty well with Rockford. 30 games, 27 points. Yeah. I'm a little surprised because this guy, he scored 20 goals only 2 years ago, and he's not old. No. So
I got a choice between Rockford or Switzerland,
Yeah, I'll say he gets a PTO because I think somebody will take a chance.
Okay.
Russ?
Okay, well, you have to say it, Mike. That's what I was waiting for you.
Russ?
I'm going to say PTO, but he is a minus when he steps out on the ice. That's the only thing. That 20 goals is all well and good, but he also was like a minus 29 recently too. And that's part of it. He drives coaches crazy. He's got speed. He's got ability.
Yeah, he's got incredible speed. We've seen that.
But he just drives coaches crazy. He's just about out of the league. He's got one foot out the door.
Yeah, I'll say PTO for him as well.
Okay. Brett Leeson. And if you remember, Brett Leeson was like the poor man's Tom Wilson. I think he was drafted as a 20-year-old. He was big. Everybody was just enthralled about his size. Overager. Last year played with. He's been started in the Washington organization. Was drafted by the Capitals. Then it was picked up on waivers by Anaheim. Had 11 goals 2 years ago. Last year dipped to 5 goals in 62 games. But in this league, in its current construct and with its current, let's emulate the Florida Panthers, 6'5" and 220 pounds. Anthony, 1-year contract, PTO or nada for Brett Leeson?
PTO. Yeah. But he could play himself into a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
I'm saying PTO.
I know, but you're waffling.
I'm saying I'm saying PTO. If he fits the team for what they're looking for, he could have a 1-year deal. So,
no, Is he a PTO or is he a 1-year deal? You could only choose one.
PTO means he's gonna get cut.
You know, Mason Raymond signed as a PTO with Toronto. It led to a 1-year deal. But we're saying, does he get signed to a contract or does he get a PTO? Eventually, the
PTO and then and then kiss goodbye. Fine, I'll go 1-year deal.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm going to go 1-year deal as well because I still think, yeah, he could get 7-8 goals and be on your fourth line and fill some minutes. He's not an old guy. He'll come cheap. So, yeah, I feel like that's where he's at.
Frankly, I'm surprised that the Toronto Maple Leafs haven't signed him to a 1-year.
That's true. He fits the bill for them.
He's from Calgary. Treliving was in Calgary for over a decade, so he probably knows him. And 6'5", 220 pounds. Yeah, I mean, I will say I think there'll be enough competition for him that he will squeeze a 1-year, say $800,000 contract out of somebody. So I'll say 1-year contract. Okay, that was number 2. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Robbie Fabry played only 44 games last season, 8 goals, 8 assists, which is surprising for a guy who has had some good offensive years in the past. Had 18 goals 2 years ago with the Detroit Red Wings, but only had 8 last year in 44 games with the Anaheim Ducks. Russ, you first. 1-year contract, PTO or nada?
I'm going nada because he has an injury history. He's on the smaller side, and I do think he has a hard time now finding a spot to score his goals. And so, yeah, the way he plays, he never really changed the way he plays, and now the league is just not set up. He's not set up for scoring in this league. In the AHL, he could score 30 goals every year.
I was about to say, I'm going to agree with Russ and say nada, but he'll bag an AHL deal.
Yeah.
I think he'll get a PTO, but I don't know if he'll get a contract out of it. So I'll say he'll get the PTO invite from someone.
Okay.
But I'm skeptical whether he gets the NHL deal. In the end, he might have to accept the AHL deal because, and the thing is that he's made some money in this league. He may say, okay, I'm not going to take that. I'm going to wait around until somebody has a need for somebody. But sometimes you wait around and then you never get back in.
KHL might come calling.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. David Savard's retired. Okay, this is a good one. 40-year-old Ryan Suter, who just never seems to quit. He is not officially retired as of this broadcast. He played with St. Louis last year on a veteran minimum contract. Played all 82 games. 2 goals, 13 assists. So he's not the defenseman he was 5-6 years ago, but playing all 82 games as a 40-year-old is, definitely respectable. And with this league, and when it comes to defense, there's always a need. So Anthony, you first. 1-year contract, PTO or nada?
Somebody's going to give him a PTO. I think he'll get a PTO, and they'll take a look at him, see where he's at.
Russ.
There are no suitors for Ryan. That's SUITORS. Thank you. Because of his age, because he's not the fastest anymore. He had a great career, but really teams don't have an appetite for a 40-year-old backup defenseman. They just don't.
I'm struggling here. Is he a righty or is he a lefty?
I don't even know if it matters.
He's a lefty.
Yeah.
Okay, if he was a righty, I think he'd get a 1-year contract. I get this weird feeling he's going back to Nashville because Barry Trotz is the GM there, and their defense is, questionable.
Let's just make it more questionable.
Yeah, I think Shea Weber probably could play better. No, just kidding.
Oh,
I will say 1-year contract with Nashville.
I mean, who's older, Ryan Suter or Tootsie's in Nashville?
Tootsie's, I think.
Tootsie's is older.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so was the hamburger that a certain person ate at that place.
That I tried to warn.
Yes.
I did. I ate a bag of chips, and I looked at that. It was a grilled cheese, Mike. It wasn't a hamburger.
Grilled cheese. That's right. That's right.
And I looked at that person.
Yeah.
And I looked at that person, and I said, "What are you doing? Look at that grill. That has been here since like Willie Nelson started playing here." And he didn't want to hear it. I bought a bag of chips. I woke up the next day fine. Somebody else didn't wake up fine.
Somebody else was worshiping the porcelain goddess.
Okay. Oh, goodness. I think we have one more here, and this one, again, I'm a little surprised that there hasn't been a signing yet. I have a feeling that he is waiting for one particular team, and that would be Max Pacioretty, who played 36 years old, who played, I believe, it was 39 games last year. 37 games with the Toronto Maple Leafs, was out of the lineup 3 times during the season. But when it counted, he showed up. And he was a physical force, and he scored. He was like I think he was their 3rd leading scorer in the playoffs, which, is also commentary on the players.
The sound of one hand clapping.
Yeah, on the core players not showing up. But he initially said he wanted to retire or was leaning toward retirement, and then a couple weeks later sounded like he was open to coming back, and Brad Treliving said he was open to bringing him back, but so far nothing. So the question is, Russ, I'll start with you. Will it be a repeat of last year where he was invited on a PTO, but everybody knew he was going to get a contract, or will he get the contract, or will it just be sorry, Max?
I think at this point it's sorry, Max, because like Toronto really was just very patient with him and could wait and not have to worry about not having him in the lineup for all those games. But most teams can't do that. And yes, he was good in the playoffs. So you were right about that, Mike. But the other 39 game regular season, I was right about. Like, he can't get through a season anymore. So that's why I don't think so.
Yeah, I would concur. I think out of respect, he'll get a PTO for sure. It'll be the same path, but I think the road for him to get to a contract is going to be much tougher this time around.
I think he will get the PTO and will eventually sign the 1-year contract with the Leafs. I think that they're basically, the hold here is them being able to trade a couple of the players that they're trying to trade, which is David Camp for Kalle Järnkrok. And if they can't do it, then they may bury those guys. They have contract space, so they could sign a Pacioretty. And I think they're one of a few teams. Florida can do that. Toronto can do that. It's like the regular season is basically meaningless in the sense that they're going to be in the playoffs. So it's a question of being there and showing up when you need to show up. So I think it's going to be a PTO, but eventually a 1-year contract with Toronto.
See, like in a spokesman version of this game, I would bring back Mayor McCheese on a PTO. I don't know what happened to Mayor McCheese. I haven't seen Mayor McCheese in years.
Well, did you hear that they finally revealed what Grimace was?
What he is, what his heritage is, his origin story?
Yes.
Okay.
He is a taste bud.
Oh. Is he an infected taste bud? That's why he's blown up like that?
A purple taste bud.
Like, I just figured he was like purple dye number 56.
Was considering his connection with the Mets and everything. This is actually starting to make a lot more sense.
Is he like Radar O'Reilly's taste bud from MASH because he drank all the grapes?
He's like a happy version. I got a better idea. He's like the happier version of Frank the Tank.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think we're going to talk about Midwest Kyle Schwarber. All right. We won't though. Here's
Yep. You're hoping.
Here's the last thing. So, summertime brings out some different kinds of beers, and so I figured we'd ask about like our favorite type of summer beer. It doesn't have to be a particular brand. I'll go first. Like, I always look for that pineapple beer this time of year if I'm in a bar or something. I like it. I'm always into pineapple in the summer more than the winter, and you could get me a pineapple beer, I'll drink it every time. Yeah. Anthony?
I've become very partial to Mango Cart.
Okay.
I think it's a more of a weed. Again, it's lighter in the summer, like 4.5% ABV. And first time I really had it, well, we were all sitting together at dinner in Vegas. That was the first time I had it. And then
I
was able to find it here, and it's solid in the can. Out of the tap, it's like nectar. But yeah. But even that straight out of a can.
After a hard day of grading papers, it looks good to you.
I'm not grading papers at this point. I will be soon. Not yet, though.
Well, okay, as typical of me, I'll go the opposite end of the spectrum, the one that I know that I've tried that I don't like. It's a pink grapefruit German. Is it Hefeweizen? I think
Hefeweizen.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I like pink grapefruit in like a sorbet. I like it. I like.
That's my second favorite. Is a grapefruit beer in the summer.
Yeah,
I don't mind a grapefruit beer. I've had it.
Grapefruit beer.
I don't mind it.
My second favorite now. It used to be my favorite. Now it's my second behind the mango.
I'm very boring, so I'll just say I like a Corona with a lime.
Oh, that's great. All right. That's your choice. That's fine. It's a boring choice, but that's your choice.
You're such a basic bitch, Mike.
I am.
That's it. That's it for Off the Post. We'll catch everybody next time.
Take care, everybody.